All right. Aaron Whitlow.
Brandon, Brandon Spivey here. Mm, mm.
Something's going on with this man's throat. Welcome to the Markout Movie Podcasters. And on today's episode, this is a Brandon pick. We're doing nothing like the holidays.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
Came out in 2008. It's PG-13. Runs for an hour 38 minutes. Um, yeah. So let me first say, this movie came out in the time in which I was talking about it. Not we, me and you, but people that's in the living room while I was watching it last week. The other day. This is a type of movie that back in 2008. This is when they like would cast anyone who was just Hispanic. So it doesn't matter if you're Puerto Rican, Cuban, Mexican. It didn't matter. Just as long as you're Hispanic, we can cast you as family. Because somebody pointed out, they're like, yeah, there's like people from totally different geographic locations. They just speak Spanish. And that's the one common denominator. Um, let's see, Bilfer. Let's go, Brandon. Oh,
But no,
bringing
it's
it back.
not. Why we gotta go there?
Uh, so does that reveal Bilfer's identity? No, no, it doesn't. Um, but yeah, uh, this movie stars John
Oh,
Leguizamo, Freddie Rodriguez, Deborah Messing, uh, Alfred Molina, aka Doc Ock, Elizabeth Pena, and then Luis Guzman. And there's a couple other people that's in this movie as well. Brandon, what made you? Well, I was gonna say, what made you choose this movie? You've told me this recently, so you can go ahead and tell them.
I mean, truthfully, I really just like the movie. Watched it last year for Christmas and didn't expect much. I watched mainly for John. Cause like I hadn't seen him anything prior to what was it, Violent Night and that chef movie he did last year. Like I hadn't seen
Mhm.
him in like a decade before that, so I was like, he's in this. I'll watch this. And I was just kind of blown away how everybody in the family has something to do in this movie, you know. So, but you did say you were gonna pick a black movie because it's gonna be about, you know, it's gonna be a black Christmas for you.
Yeah, yeah, I
So I
did.
was like, well, if you're gonna do that, and you kind of did Candy Cane Lane. I mean, it was
Yeah,
about a black family,
yeah. With,
but
with
I was like, if you're gonna do that, well, I'm gonna give some Latinos some love, you know. So
so uh, to be honest, the movie that I was going to choose next week was going to be between this Christmas and Friday After Next. So two totally different, say, black Christmas movies. This Christmas being probably one of the most well loved, and Friday After Next is not some one of the most hated, but it's one of those movies that people say, "Oh, Friday," and then Friday After Next is the better of the Friday trilogies. So they don't so much show as much love to Next Friday, even though it's still quotable. But Friday After Next is technically takes place on Christmas or Christmas Eve rather. So yeah, uh, man, there's a lot of Christmas elements. There's music, there's Christmas trees, all this stuff. So there's things. It's just I think it's been a fun little movie, but and I may still watch it uh, because next week I plan on us just actually
skipping over
before
Christmas
skipping
at
over Christmas.
Christmas.
Yeah.
You crank?
Now we're not gonna
Nah,
skip. We're gonna talk still about like what you actually end up watching, what you like the most, and what you didn't like as much. Because I'd
talking about
be
some
interested.
stuff. I didn't ask you this yesterday when you brought this up, but you talking about stuff I'd never seen before, or
No, no, it could be just whatever you watched this Christmas that
okay,
stood out to you is like, man, I'm glad I watched it. And if it's something that you haven't seen before, you can say, yeah, we can even do where you say out of what I've seen before, and I just rewatch it at Christmas time. This is my movie. And then the thing that I've never seen before, but I gave it a chance. I really like this. The thing I'd never seen before, and I gave it a chance. I didn't like this. So that's what I was thinking about. Because this movie right here, nothing like the holidays. I gotta say, I really dug it because I thought it was well written. The families was
Yeah,
likable. It seemed like a legitimate family.
yeah,
I had fun with it, and I kind of marked out a few times because of some of the people that I seen in it that I didn't realize was going to be in the movie. Like, for instance, uh, uh, Elizabeth Pena. She's passed away now, but she was forever the woman that they would cast as a Hispanic woman if they needed somebody that you know in the 80s and in the 90s, mainly the 80s. But yeah, she played the mom in this movie, so
yeah.
absolutely enjoyed seeing her. I think one of my favorite movies she's in is Batteries Not Included. I believe she's in that film, um, which is a Spielberg film. So she's
Is
worked with
it?
Spielberg.
I never
Yeah, I
seen it.
believe so.
I never seen it.
Oh,
Well, I remember her the mostly from you're gonna probably get a laugh at this. Is La Bamba with Lou
oh yeah,
Diamond
absolutely.
Phillips, and I can't think of his name, but he was in the last Mission Impossible movie. He was also in Titans. He's actually done well for himself. He's still relevant, so I can't say
Yeah,
that for Lou Diamond Phillips.
he played Lou Diamond's brother, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that
yeah,
guy.
yeah. Who? Yeah, and Rush Hour. I always remember her from Rush Hour. I was a little disappointed they didn't bring her back because I thought her and Chris Tucker really had good chemistry. But yeah, I always enjoyed seeing her pop up and stuff, and I think she's very a very underrated actress, not just for Hispanics, but in general.
In
She was
general,
really
yeah.
good.
Yeah. I was right about okay. I was right about her being in the movie. I wasn't right about it being a Spielberg film. It was actually a Matthew Robbins, written by Mick Garrison. But I guarantee you, Spielberg was a producer because it feels like a Spielberg film. I'm not gonna look it up. If somebody knows, you can let me know. But if it, certain things, Spielberg's the guy you feel it, you feel his presence. Let me
Yeah,
see. Let me see if I was right. Yep, executive producer Spielberg. Told you. It feels like Spielberg film. But yeah. But no, this movie, nothing like the holidays. It's about uh the main focus character is a guy who just got out of the war, which would be the war in Iraq, or probably Afghanistan at this time. Um, this is
right. He was in
takes place
Iraq
in
though.
2000. Was he in Iraq? Okay,
Yeah,
so this is 2008. 9/11 happened in 2001, so this is right then in that moment. He got out, and He's coming home. He's been injured uh, in the war, um, but he's coming home to his family. The ex girlfriend, he's hoping to see her, and the family's just a crazy family. Not crazy family, but just like it's a
well,
family. I love, huh?
it's a little chaotic with the
I
family.
love that. Yeah, I love that scene with them the first dinner scene with them all together, and everybody's talking over each other, and the lady that Deborah Messing was
Yeah,
like why is everybody fighting? Which that's not what was happening, but just like I love that it's like a very for me a very realistic portrayal of what dinner can be like because everybody's having cross conversations and
yeah,
and with like us black folks and us Latino and Hispanic folks, I'm gonna speak it out. We could be a little loud, and it might come across to some people like that you're being fighting or, but no, it's just like it's nothing but love. Just I love that scene, man. Um, But yeah, man, I'm glad you picked this film.
I am too. I thought last year when I watched it, it just really shook me in a way, in a positive way. It's like,
Hmm.
man, this felt like a real family. The storylines of still or can be relevant today. Uh, it just it felt real, and I was like, man,
It just
yeah,
Give me a
felt
moment.
real.
you
And
must
I
be
was
on
like,
our
man,
Facebook.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
give me a moment. You must be on Facebook.
Woo,
You know what I'm saying?
there we go.
Oh my
My bad.
god.
Yeah, I was trying to comment. I see a comment. Matthew Carter says, "Hey, Aaron and Brandon, I've watched the trailer for Beverly Hills Cop Axel. Uh,
Foley.
it's Foley is pretty good. Also, since you spoke of the Friday trilogy, it'd be neat if there were one last movie in the series. In fact, I think there was going to be one last movie, appropriately named The Last Friday. Um, but yeah, then he talked about she was in Bomb Diffuser. She's the Bomb Diffuser in Rush Hour 1. It's a pity she's passed on. Yep. Thank you, Matthew. But yeah, to answer your question, Matthew, um, yes, they've always been toying around with the idea of a Last Friday film. At one point, they even said Chris Tucker maybe want to come back, but I'm gonna be honest. Uh, I hope if they get Chris back, they have to pay Chris a lot because Chris, he was so great in Air, and I hope he gets Oscar buzz for probably not. I mean, it's going to be a Ben and Matt show, but Chris did a great job. Um, it made me like miss seeing him more often. So yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Chris was amazing in the air. That's weird to say, but yeah, he was. He was. I don't know if he'll get nominated though. There's so many people
yeah, so
that did
many.
so much work this year that I don't know. Best supporting, maybe. I mean, that's what he would be. I don't
But in
know.
that movie, it'll probably go to Ben. If they're going to
You
do a
think
best
so?
supporting, probably I would say Ben.
You think Ben was
Uh,
great?
no, I don't think so. But I don't see them. Honestly, just the way the Academy does, I don't think that they would give it to Chris. But even though Chris would deserve it, Chris did a great job in that movie.
I mean,
Better than Ben. Better than Ben.
they may look at him like they look at Sandler as
Hmm.
just a comedian, you know. But I don't know. I would think he wouldn't be looked in the same light as Adam Sandler because he hasn't done a whole lot. Like movies on his own. Like
Hmm.
he doesn't have the resume Sandler has, and I know how the Academy looks at Sandler. Like trash. You're a trashy actor. You're a trashy comedian. You know how they view him, but I don't
Yeah.
think they view Tucker the same way, Chris Tucker the
Yeah.
same way.
Yeah.
But because everything he's done has pretty much been gold, you know.
Hmm.
But I don't know if he would get nominated though. I wouldn't have a problem with it, honestly. I just don't see anyone beating Robert Downey Jr. from
For best
Oppenheimer.
support. Okay.
Yeah,
I plan on watching that. I don't know, man. I think there's been some really good. Yeah, I would say. I don't know. They say, isn't De Niro in Killer of the Flower Moon?
yeah.
I heard that he did a great job.
I mean, it's De Niro,
But
it's Martin
but it's,
Scorsese. I mean,
yeah,
when does he not show up for Martin?
yes, it's true. It's true. But yeah, I would say, but real quick before we get back to this, as far as like somebody that I want to see truly get a nod, uh, I don't know, man. Um, there's been, like you said, there's been so many great movies, and people have done so much good work as far as this year's gone. Um, so it's hard to really just point out one person and say, yeah. But I do think, um, oh man, I don't know. Like, I'm glad that you told me to watch. Are You There, God Is Me, Margaret? I thought that everyone in that movie did great. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I've seen some stuff. I've seen Saltburn. I know you hadn't seen it, but I thought that was an excellent movie. But yeah, um, but back to this one. Um, I want to mention my dude that's in this movie, Doc Ock, man. Uh,
Alfred. Yeah.
yes, man. This movie has it's a who's who of Latino actors. It's like it was really a I would consider it an all star cast, really, because of even though Louis Guzman probably didn't get that much love back then, like he does now. He probably gets more love now than he did then. But of course, John Leguizamo. I'll say John is an actor that people just kind of like Chris Tucker. People he started off being like like the pest. He's in movies and stuff like that where he's just this comedic buffoon type of thing
Yeah.
or loudmouth and like with the menu with the Santa Claus type movie where he's a villain. I mean, and then also Spawn. Even in Spawn, he really transformed and became that character. And so the clown guy in Spawn, I don't know his name, but yeah, he's somebody that people don't really show not a lot of respect to. But like you said, you was there for Leguizamo, so.
Yeah. Originally, when I saw he was in it, I was like, wow. I really like Violent Night, and I was like, oh, I liked it so much. I want to see him, and I liked him in the menu as well.
Mm,
And I love that he was making fun of Steven Seagal in that movie. And if I hadn't read the interview, I wouldn't even noticed it, to be honest. But that's who he inspired his character to be, because that's how he felt Steven Seagal was. So,
mhm.
but yeah, watching him play this type of character, he's a corporate guy. He's wanting to have kids. His wife really doesn't, and it's just, and to see how he is with his mom, 'cause he's a big mama's boy.
Mhm.
But we get to a scene near the end where he just stands there at the hospital, and it's like, what's he gonna do? Because he's like literally just standing there. It's like, then he gives his dad a big hug, like he's like,
Like a
I could,
5-year-old, like a little kid.
yeah, I can relate to this though. When my dad had open heart surgery, I did the same thing. I stood there, and I was like 8, 9 years old, so it kind of reminded me of that, and it's just. He's hoping this isn't the last time he sees his dad alive, or he beats what he's facing.
Yeah.
um I just thought he was really, as far as acting goes, I say he's top 3 in this movie. Like,
Mhm.
he's such an underrated actor, and I view him as an
Yeah.
actor today rather than a comedian, because
Yeah.
I prefer his serious roles compared to his comedy, actually.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
He was in this movie more like I would say he came across as he did a good job as playing like the brother of the family that was like successful,
yeah.
doesn't really embrace his heritage. He's like like I am, and then like they're looking at him like what, because his wife is Jewish, and so just like I thought that he did he was very great. He had great comedy bits in this movie,
Yeah.
uh, and I think Louis Guzman, was he like their uncle? Is that what his role was?
Well, the father was his uncle, so he would have been like it would have been
A
that would have been his
cousin?
nephew, cousin. Yeah, it would have been a cousin.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that he was he he he's an actor too. That man, he's been putting in work for years, and I'm glad to start seeing him getting his flowers. He even though seems like he's still playing more bit parts and not bit parts, but he plays like the supporting characters these days. Well, all these days, like I think everything I've ever seen him in, he's a supporting character.
Yeah,
But he does a really good job, and I hope that he maybe that's where his lane is. Not saying anything bad, but he's really good at it. He's really good at
yeah, he's
being a
great.
character. Yeah, and then when you see him and stuff, you're like, hey, Luis Guzman. You just like you like light up when you see him. Like I was
Yeah,
happy to see him in this. So
yeah, I thought he was great in this. I wanted more of him.
hmm
You only get him in the beginning and the kind of the end. he kind of goes away for that second act, but I thought he was great. He's just got good comedic timing, and he seems like he's like I look at him more like an uncle to the kids than a
Hmm.
cousin. Just
Yeah,
gets that,
that's what I thought he was.
but he kept on calling Alfred's character uncle. So I assume, and it kind of, I don't know that they look like they're the same age though. So, but
Yeah, that's
either way, I mean, he was a lovable character in the movie.
yeah. That's the thing too. Like with and the father. So I will tell this: if you haven't seen this movie, it's from 2008. We're spoiling it. So the father in this film, he uh, he owns a grocery store, and he flirts with a lot of the ladies that come in. And I guess the mother finds out that he actually cheated on her with one of the ladies, um, and and so at Christmas, well, not at Christmas, but when the family's getting together to eat, she drops a bomb and says, "I'm divorcing your father." And they and it's like now this family, you have the son, the soldier, Jesse, who is doesn't really care. He's like they can do what they want. He's like broken. He's broken from what
Yeah,
he's seen in war, from what he's experienced. He has survivor's guilt. We spoke about that in Godzilla minus zero, minus one rather. Is it minus zero or minus one?
-1.
Minus one. Yeah. But we spoke about survivor's guilt. Guilt. So he has survivor's guilt because the guy that he was watching the window. He's watching a place, and then the guy's like, "Hey man, you go eat the food. I'm gonna take your spot." And when he took his spot, that guy died, but he survived, and he felt happy to be survived. But then he felt like remorse that he did survive. So that you know, you never. The family asked him, like Louise asked him, "Hey man, did you? How was it over there? What was it like? You never ask soldiers uh, you never ask soldiers what it was like returning from war. Never, if they want to tell you, they'll tell you, but you don't never say, "Hey, man, what was it like over there?" Because they deal with so much PTSD and don't get the help that they need for their PTSD. So
Yeah, yeah. You said it. You said it better than anybody could, right there. I Jesse, yeah, he's a very complex character in this. He is suffering from all that, and he's trying to win back his ex girlfriend. And he's just battling, man, mentally. He's I guess physically too because he's got an injury, but they don't really play into that too much with his eye, but he just he doesn't have any purpose in his life.
mhm.
Well, he feels he doesn't have purpose. Like his brother's going off and living his life, and his sister went out to become an actress, and he just feels stuck. That's why he went to Iraq. He didn't feel like he had any purpose, and that's a relatable. I mean, I can relate to that too. And I felt for him though. I mean, especially when the girl pops up. You know, I felt for him. I mean, he's a good dude that, trying to get his life together. Doesn't really want to talk about what happened. He just kind of holds everything in, which I can relate to that too.
Yeah, so you can really relate to him, is what you're saying.
I can, yeah.
Also, he says Matthew also said this. Here. Okay, come on, Matthew. Here are a couple of movies for you to review for Christmas. George C. Scott's Christmas Carol. Let me tell you, Brandon has watched pretty much all the Christmas carols this year. Um,
I've seen
I
quite a
don't know if
few.
you see, did you see the Muppets Christmas Carol or
I
no?
did. Yeah.
Okay, the Pee Wee's Christmas Special. I don't think I want to ever visit.
That's actually great.
Is it?
It was last time I seen it.
But you said the same thing about the
I
last.
did, but I'm we talking about the 80s Christmas special or
Yeah,
the
Uh,
HBO special.
hey, I'll say that I don't know. He said just says Christmas special, or if you want if you want to something to laugh at, Star Wars Holiday Special. Also, I like Alfred Molina in Stepito, Estepito in Raiders of the Lost Ark. He was the guy that kind of took Indiana down. I remember, yeah, he was in there. I forgot about him being in it. Um, but yeah, man. No, as far as like, uh, now I would say if you, one of my favorite Christmas movies recently would probably be 8-Bit Christmas is going to be a classic. I hope. Uh, I think the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special or holiday special is a good one. Um, and I would also say if I got to do a third one that I think it's a really good Christmas movie that's recent. Um, let's see.
I guess the Christmas switch didn't do it for you.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
Shame.
It, it wasn't bad. It's just that it's not one that I would want to revisit.
Christmas
Uh,
Chronicles. There you go. The
Christmas
first one.
Chronicles. Yeah,
First one.
the first
First
one.
one.
The first one is absolutely one. And then if I got to do a fourth one that you just got to slide in there as like a honorable mention, Claws. Is that the animated
Yeah.
on Netflix?
Yeah.
Yeah, excellent movie.
Yeah, I would say that's the only two good ones that I've seen on Netflix. Is Christmas Chronicles. As far as, you know, I, I give passing grades to a couple others, but really good ones is Claus and Christmas Chronicles. The Noel Diary was decent. It had the guy from This Is Us, the Manny. Uh,
Hmm.
they had him in it. It was pretty decent, but as far as really good, it's Christmas Chronicles and Claus. I haven't seen another one that's been really good, but I don't expect too much from Netflix though.
Yeah. Now, the guy that played Jesse in this movie,
Freddie
uh,
Rodriguez.
Freddie Rodriguez. Literally, when I think about him, I immediately think of Can't Hardly Wait, which is one of my favorite little
Oh,
all-time
he is in that.
90s film. Yeah, he's one. He's the dude that she has mirrors. Her parents has mirrors over the bed, dude. And I'm gonna be like, it's just so funny. But yeah, every time I see him, it's immediately where I go to him. I see him as that. But although I'm glad he's still doing some work, he is in the Wu Tang show. It seems like, which I don't remember
I
being in
haven't
it.
I haven't seen
Um,
that. I haven't seen
and
much of his work, to be honest.
yeah, yeah.
But I will. I do want to give some love to somebody else, Jay
Mhm.
Hernandez, who I mainly know from Hostel. Like I can't literally think of anything else he's done. Oh, he did a 9/11 movie with Nick Cage, I believe.
He was in, yeah, Jay Hernandez.
Yeah, I liked him in
Yeah,
this. I really did. I thought I loved his story. He had something to do with his sister, but he also lost his brother to his gang member, and he sees him. He's just gotten out of prison. They're going to clash at some point.
yeah.
But I love the build up to that, to when they finally do talk. And I mean, I can't even imagine that myself. But
Yeah. Oh,
that was kind of powerful though, that you're confronting the guy who murdered your brother or killed your
hmm.
brother. Um, what do you do in that situation? It's Christmas time, and you see him walking his mom. Is so many emotions right there.
Yeah.
You want revenge, but at the same time, he, it is his mom's son. I mean, that comes into play there. But and then he's getting a phone call when he's confronting him, and it's the girl. It's the sister. I can't think of her name in the movie,
Yeah.
but
Uh,
there were so many emotions there. I thought that was so well written. The build up between those
mhm.
characters, and I thought everyone had something to do, and that's surprising, honestly.
Yeah. I would say this about the guy is he is
Is he
he's working.
Magnum?
Yeah, he's Magnum. That's what I was about to say.
Okay.
I guess it shows through 2024. I guess they didn't renew it, but yeah, he's Magnum PI. And then he is also in Hawaii Five O as
Is he?
well.
I got.
It shows him as Thomas Magnum. Maybe he Did a
I got
cat?
those, but I haven't seen it.
Yeah, he does a guest. I guess that's how they introduce him as Magnum. But anyway, he did. He also did Bonnie's dad in Toy Story 4. So, uh,
Wow,
and
didn't know that.
he is Rodriguez in Bright, the movie with Will Smith. Um, so he's working, man.
Yeah, I knew
And
he
he's
did the Bad
in
Moms Christmas and Bad
Suicide
Moms.
Squad. He's in Suicide Squad, the bad one,
Which one would that be?
the first one. Because I like the second one. I like the I like the
I
James Gunn Suicide Squad. I like that one.
I'll say it's better. I'll say I'll give it. I didn't hate the movie. I didn't hate either one. I hated Joker in the first one, but I liked the actual team in the first movie. I just
Mm.
didn't like Joker being involved at all.
So Stallone couldn't save it for you, huh?
I liked it. It's just, eh, you know, I think, and I blamed you for it, but truth is, I'm just burnt out, man. I'm burnt out of the
Hey, you can't
DC
blame
Marvel.
you can't blame me for that. That was
I
before our
but I
run.
do blame you for Marvel though.
Yeah, I know. I killed you with Marvel. I'm
but
sorry.
but superhero
Maybe
films, it just I'd be fine if I didn't see another one for 5 years.
maybe Loki will do something for you.
I know you're trying
Uh,
to sell me on Loki
I know
because there's a big
it's
surprise that I'm gonna love. It's
it
gonna bring joy to my heart.
it will it will. Oh, I can't wait because you're gonna love it. You mean yes, Aaron, you're right. It did bring joy to Mark, and I'm okay with that. With it just being Loki that you like and nothing else. But anyway, back to this movie. So the father also is hiding a secret that he has cancer.
Yeah.
But we didn't know it was cancer. First, we thought it was just a heart issue. But yeah, uh, but he has some type of cancer. But he doesn't. He's not letting nobody know. The only one knows is the one. Uh, uh, J, 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 what is it? John Leguizamo's a wife.
Yeah, Deborah Messing.
Marisha. Yeah, Deborah Messing, because she just happened to be with him when he had like an attack. But man, I thought the family was good. I thought they was messy. I thought that they were. I thought the movie does a good job with dealing with uh, how things isn't always perfect, and you
Hmm.
know we want things to be perfect, but it's not. And also, I thought they dealt with like I thought for sure there's one scene where Freddie leaves his ex girlfriend's house. I thought for sure, oh, this is the scene where she's gonna come out and choose him over her Nando. But
That's not how
I'm
real
glad,
life works.
but that's not how real life works. And it did it like real life is. Real life is you go home and we're gonna continue on because you wasn't here. You left me. You ran from me. I'm not gonna stay here and wait on you. And so I like that they did that versus the movie ending. And I love that about movies. Like I watched Past Lives, and Past Lives did the same thing. It's a movie about two friends, a boy and girl that was friends growing up in Korea. The girl moves away. The boy finds her years later, and they be friends online. And then later on, they get to actually finally see each other again. But at this point, she's married, and even though they feel feelings and like each other and think of what it could be, what it could have been, in reality, you can't do what you want to do. Because there's nothing wrong with and my husband or my wife or anything. So there's no reason to do that. And so I love real life type of movies, real life endings like that. So I'm starting to respect those a little bit more. We've been fed the Hollywood endings. I'm glad to start seeing the reality endings. You know what I mean?
Oh, I do. Oh, I do. I do. Yeah. I really relate to Jesse, man. I really do. But yeah, that was a reality ending. Just how it plays out. You know, you got to move on with your life, and
Hmm.
whatever happens, happens in life. But you got to move on. Just how it goes. But yeah, one thing we didn't talk about that a little subplot in this movie is about this tree that's in front of their house, and the mom wants it cut down, and she's
Yeah.
wanted it cut down for years, and he's like, I'm doing it this year. And I didn't understand at first when I first saw this movie, why is it so important this year? Why now? But obviously I get it. He's got cancer. He may not have. This could be the last time he's with his family. So
Mm.
I get what it's representing. But they can't cut the tree down.
Tree doesn't come down. And
No.
finally, uh, and she says, "Well, why do it now? Not knowing that he has cancer, not knowing that he may die, but why do it now? Knowing that I'm divorcing you. Why do it now? It's too late now. Why try to make up for lost time, essentially?" And so she's feels like there's no sense in you doing this. And he said, "No, no, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, you know." Uh, and and I'm thinking also this is something that just dawned on me. And tell me if I'm right or wrong. Maybe not only, but maybe him cheating on his wife was his way of trying to cope with his cancer diagnosis and his what he's going through. He's like kind of like spiraling out, like don't how to respond and don't want to tell his family because don't want to worry them.
Yeah.
So I'm not justifying what his actions, but I wonder if that is the reason for his infidelity, or is it just because he's a dog? What it like?
I can't answer that, Aaron. I don't. You know, I can't answer that on air. All
Okay.
right. But I will. What I will say about it, I don't think he's coping with it. But I think when he cheated years ago, like because John Leguizamo said when he was a kid, he gave him $100 to keep quiet about it.
Oh, so it's something they've done for years before the diagnosis.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. Maybe it was just one time. Maybe it was multiple. I don't know, but I don't think it's what he's coping with. But I do feel he feels guilty about it,
Mm,
and he even said it in the movie. Maybe the divorce was going to be a good thing because you could be happy without me,
mm.
and it wouldn't be as much of a big blow if he did end up dying. And
Something I noticed as well. With that, when you're talking about John Leguizamo's, wait a minute, John Leguizamo, this dog. Give me a moment.
I'll give you a moment.
All right, so with John Leguizamo, being like the mama's boy, so to speak, uh, can I notice that with the cutting down of the tree, the older son, he gives it a shot, and the mom didn't really protest and say no, don't do it. As soon as John grabs the saw, she's like, "Put it down, put it down, put it down. No, get in the house, get in there like a little kid."
Yeah,
Uh, and it was so funny. It was fun, and you know what I thought too. It
what you
doesn't
think?
matter how old you get.
Yeah,
Mom is still mom. It don't matter if you have children, if they have children. Mama is mama. If
yeah,
mama say stop and get in it, you gotta do what mama says. Um,
yeah. I felt she treated him like he was the baby of the
mhm.
three, and that's clearly not the case. The daughter would be the baby of the three. She's at least 10 years younger than John. John comes off as the oldest to me, though. Maybe it's that first love thing, firstborn love.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, to me, she just treated him as the baby. Like he can't do anything for himself. She's got to hold his hand for everything. Um, but I don't know. But I love the fact that he wants to do it. You know, just he has no business handling any kind of machinery
whatsoever.
whatsoever. But I love the fact that he wants to do it, and I also love the fact that Jesse wanted to do it to impress his ex girlfriend. It's like I'll
Yeah,
show her man can't get it done. I'll show her I can. Show her she's with the wrong guy.
yeah. I love that too, man. Yeah, I think the family, man, is so. Yeah, I love that. Well, get back to the tree. Close that out with the tree. I felt like the tree is a perfect metaphor for like that family.
Yeah.
It's big. It's been there for the longest. It's ugly, but it's theirs. You know what I'm saying? You
Mm-hmm.
can't cut family out. You can't get rid of family just because you want to. Family is firmly gonna sit there, no matter how much you try to throw at it. It's gonna stick around, and and yeah, and you find the beauty in it. It's big and it's tall, but it's theirs. You know, it's like the family is theirs. So I really like that. I love that like in their home, it felt like this was one of the movies. Some movies you see, that's Christmas movies, and you see family dynamics together, especially like little like them Hallmark or Tubi type of, those type of
Oh,
movies. It doesn't feel like a real family. It doesn't feel lived in. It doesn't feel like home.
mm-hmm.
This family felt like home. It felt
Yeah.
like their house, and I love that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. For me, this is probably the best uh, family dynamic Christmas movie I've seen in a really long time. Like honestly, it's just I believe they were all related. I mean, I believe that this was a family. I do. It felt real. It was very authentic. So I I applaud them. I applaud the writers, the actors, the director.
Yeah.
I they did a great job with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Just like and how the family, uh man, I really enjoyed it. I think that I'm glad you showed it to me. Um and yeah, I had a good time with it. But at the end of the movie, the mother decides not to leave the father. She finds out about his cancer, and she says it just doesn't make sense for me to here I am trying, like God is punishing me. She mentions, uh, uh, but I think that she kind of come to a realization that no, this isn't worth it. It's worth keeping the family together. The daughter, who's an actress, didn't book the part. Well, she did finally book a part, but she decided to turn it down.
Yeah.
She's like, it's more important to stay around here, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. Um, and so everybody's trying to figure out what they want to do. John Leguizamo, his wife, wanted to have children. Well, he wants to have children. She didn't want to. She wants to start climbing that ladder.
Yeah.
But she finally comes to a realization by being around his family. Yes, I can do both. I guess she feels she can do both, which is we'll see how that goes. But yeah, no, man. I, I think everybody. That's one thing I'll say, Brandon. I think everybody in this movie had their character arcs,
Mm-hmm.
and they met their character arcs
Yeah.
in some way. Yeah, even the best friend Jay Hernandez, even his character, his arc was I'm gonna kill this guy when I see him, and he doesn't.
No.
He yeah.
No. And I think it was two things: him seeing him walk his mom, seeing the other side to him. Then this guy's just a cold-blooded killer.
Mhm,
Plus the phone call
mhm.
from who it was. I just brought him back to reality a little bit. And remember, his best friend told him it's not worth it. He told him at the very beginning it's not worth it. Maybe that came back into play in the character's mindset, or maybe it didn't. But
Yeah,
in that
and
moment, I feel like it did. It's not worth it. Look what you're going to be losing if you do this.
yeah, and I want to mention that too with the guy too. the guy that the gang leader, the gangman, the guy that I don't know if it was his gang, but the guy that ended up killing his brother years ago. Um, that scene with him walking his mother was the sweetest. Like it felt like such a sweet, genuine scene.
Yeah.
I give applaud this movie. It felt like just such a sweet, genuine scene with him just wanting to, his mom's talking to him where, hey, you could probably work at the post office to hiring, things like that. Like just the way a mother worries about her son.
Yeah.
Wants her son to not get involved with the streets, not get involved with the old hooligans you ran with that got you in trouble in the first place. I want you to do something better with your life. And then the mom seen Jay and invites him in to eat. Come in, let him. And then no, he can't stay, man. He's got to go. You know. But it's just like, man, oh, I really enjoyed this movie. But yeah, the family. I think everything works out at the end. The son. Uh, you want to mention? You want to talk about anything with that before I
You talking about
say what I?
Jesse?
Yeah, I was gonna say yeah. With Jesse, he decides to stay and help his dad with the business.
Yeah. And he lets his ex go. He just and you know I love that scene though. I mean, I know we spoke about it earlier, but I really love that scene, especially when he says he's glad that she found someone that can make her happy. He just wished it would have been him.
Hmm.
And um, I love that though. I mean, because that's real, and you can't beat real. And you're right. Hollywood has made us believe everything works out like we thought it would in the end, but it really doesn't. But yeah, he does go back and he worked with his father. And I think that's the perfect ending.
Yeah,
And also the perfect ending for his character. I mean, because if he goes back to Iraq and his mindset, I don't want to say this, but I felt like he probably would have gotten himself killed.
yeah, I agree. Also, I would say this with that the perfect ending type of scenario. It like in movies, like for instance, I never liked that. I like them. I like Liar Liar, but I never liked the idea the ending in which Carrie Ellis doesn't end up with because there was nothing wrong with him as a boyfriend or a husband or anything. He was literally nice to the boy, nice to the mother. He wasn't like, sometimes movies would do that where they'd show you, oh, he's a prick, something like that, or he's mean or something. But that's never the case with Carrie Ellis in Liar Liar. So the ending where she doesn't end up with him, but I don't know if she so much ends back with, I think, yeah, she ends back with Jim
Yeah, she
in the
does get
in
back with him.
the but it just although yeah it's nice Hollywood sweet ending we want to see that but reality it leaves this other guy out in the cold. So in this movie Nando, there's nothing really wrong with Nando. He wasn't a mean guy, he wasn't a bully, he wasn't abusive, he wasn't anything like that. He was just a sweet generous loving guy that found this woman who was not happy and made her happy. And so why, even though we like Jesse, you know, why throw him to the curve just so that we can get happiness from watching, the ending. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean sometimes you need reality. Especially for the type of movie this is, you definitely need that reality. It doesn't mean your life is over or nothing. It just means you got to move on. You got to accept how it is. You left. She found someone else. Just how it
Yeah,
is.
that's how it goes. All right, you ready to give your marks for this?
Yeah, I'm gonna go really high. I'm gonna give it 5. I thought about it. So I watched it earlier, and I was like, you know what? I liked it better this time than I did last time. I gave it a 4 out of 5 last time. I was like, I liked it more. I can't find any faults with it. Honestly, I think I don't see any faults here. So
Yeah.
I'm going 5 out of 5.
All right, yeah, I agree with you, man. I'm gonna give it 5 as well. I thought it's actually a great. It felt like a great Christmas movie as far as like it. Felt like a real family. Felt like felt like Christmas. If
Yeah.
did it feel like Christmas? Does it feel like a family? and how were you feeling when you finished watching it? And I felt like it was Christmas. I felt like it was a real family, and I felt great after watching it. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, I was satisfied. Yeah, I thought it was yeah, so I give it 5 as well.
All right. See,
Yeah,
I don't
all
always
right.
pick bad movies.
No, you don't. All right. So for next week's episode, uh, we're gonna be because we're this is the last of the Christmas episodes in the sense of I'm not gonna do a Christmas movie next week. Well, we're gonna talk about some of the Christmas movies we watched before we talk about what we're gonna review. But next week we're gonna review The Color Purple. 19. It's so crazy. I feel bad because Brandon's probably like, "Oh Lord." Uh, but I wanted to do it because when I first when I first heard that this other Color Purple was coming out earlier this year, I was thinking, well, maybe that'd be a good time right before that one comes out to watch Color Purple. And I didn't think about it being in December. I was like, well, whenever it comes out, I want to make sure we can watch the original just so that because I like because I always thought it was like an excellent movie.
Spielberg,
It was
right?
Spielberg, yeah, directed by Spielberg. But yeah, it came out 85. Um, and yeah, so it's gonna be I think it'd be a good watch. I think you'll enjoy it. I hope you'll enjoy it. Um,
I
but
literally
yeah,
have no idea what this movie's about or the remake. I heard the remake's a musical, but I don't
yeah,
know if
this
it's
isn't
true.
this isn't but yeah, just
I'm
go in
thankful.
blind.
Thankfully it's
Don't
not a
watch
musical because I don't
don't watch
trust. Well,
don't watch trailers. Well, you like West Side Story.
I
And
did.
that's Spielberg.
I
Yeah.
really did. That was Spielberg. So what do I know? Spielberg can do no wrong, man.
Hey, Spielberg doing a musical is okay. But because West
But it
Side
don't
Story
feel
was
okay. It feels like no. What are you doing? Stay away from that. I actually really enjoyed that movie. So don't listen to me.
I'm gonna tell you before we get into Spielberg is one of those directors that just like you feel like whatever he made, he poured his heart into it, and it comes through the screen. Like thinking back to the Fablemans, uh,
Oh, yeah,
which
that was
was
great.
like and Spielberg didn't do anything this year. I don't think as far as
No,
um,
took a year
which
off.
but yeah. So hope so next year he got he's doing arachnophobia. So
Is he?
uh, I think I don't know, but
That
I don't
seems
know.
left field.
Well, he's always flirted with horror.
I
Um,
mean, yeah, but it's been a long time though. But yeah, the only movie I do not like of his is 1941. I
uh,
him and comedy just didn't mesh. It just didn't connect. But I don't know.
maybe I don't know if he's doing the right. It was a somebody said that. I don't know how true that is. But anyway, Brandon, what do we want the people to do?
Well, if you like this episode and you want to see more, click that like, click that share, and subscribe to the Markout Movie Podcast on
Amen.
Facebook and on YouTube and whatever Aaron's on these days.
Everything. But no, not everything. But yeah, we thank you for tuning in with us. Thank you for joining us with the holiday stuff. Like I said, before next week's episode, we will do a quick little recap of what we watched and liked and didn't like, and then we're gonna get into the color purple. Because I want Brandon to I want to get his thought. If he does watch this Christmas, I just want to get his thoughts on it. Because like the best comparison for that family in this Christmas is to the family in Nothing Like the Holidays. That's what it reminded me of.
All right.
So yeah, but all right. Well, we appreciate you listening, watching, tuning in. I know we haven't done anything on that whatever app we used to just post our voices on. I'm so sorry that I haven't did any of that at all. So, but
Anchor.
yeah, Anchor. Yeah, I'm so sorry, Anchor. You gave us a start though. We appreciate it. But no, we thank you for tuning in. Have a good rest of your day, weekend. be safe, and God bless you. Yeah.